make you guys feel more relaxed and confident and less stressed in 2 minutes using science. On the top row, we have high status positions. These are things that take up a lot of space. And we have a seated option, which I'm not going to demonstrate in case the microphone screams, but taking up a lot of room. And on the lower row, we have low status positions. These are things that are crossed and folded in on themselves, covering vital organs. And seated, you have the sort of hunched, folded. Again, not going to demonstrate, normally do, but screamy microphone. There was a study done where they got people to hold either a high status or a low status position for 2 minutes, and they did mouth swabs before and after, testing for testosterone and cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone. Testosterone isn't just the male hormone, it's also a dominance hormone and a confidence hormone. In groups of chimps, if the leader dies, the male that takes their place will have their testosterone levels will go up. It's situational as well as inherent. And people were randomly assigned either the high status or the low status positions. And after 2 minutes, the people in high status positions, their testosterone levels went up, their cortisol levels went down. They were feeling more confident, less stressed. And the people in the low status positions, it was the other way around. Their stress levels went up, confidence levels went down. That much you could find out from watching the same TED talk I did. But what I want to point out to you is that these are gendered. On the top row, we have legs out, cowboy arms. The portmanteau man-spreading for the seated option that I'm not going to demonstrate was not yet in the Oxford English Dictionary when I started doing this show. It now is. And the low status position ones, admittedly some small amount of female body language, traditional feminine body language, has probably developed around making sure that you never ever ever risk flashing your knickers. However, these are things that do not take up much space, and we kind of teach ourselves and each other to inhabit the body language that is seen to be appropriate to our genders. The photos came back from a friend's wedding a little while ago, where I was wearing my very nice dress that was probably about as long as this skirt is, but in all the photos I was stood roughly like this. And I was told off by my friends that is not how you stand when you are being ladylike in a nice dress. That is not how girls are supposed to act in nice dresses. We mould each other and ourselves into what is seen to be appropriate, or we just fuck up because we can't remember. And therefore, the ways we are told are appropriate to our gender will make men feel more confident and women feel more stressed and less confident. The thing that set off the entire train of thought that started this show was when I noticed that women in lesbian bars seemed to be more confident in themselves based on their posture. Women in lesbian bars probably not sticking to gender norms so rigidly, looking more confident, feeling more confident. So, if you would perhaps like to, don't piss off your neighbours, but if you would like to perhaps try taking up a bit more space for the next 2 minutes or so, or more, and see how there's always a fight somewhere. Okay. Daisy has got the best spreading out I have seen yet. That is awesome.
What's happening?
Friendly spreading out. I like it.
I think we have a symbiotic.
Yeah, good work. I had someone at the Fringe accidentally deck her mum while spreading out.
Oh, no.
Don't do that.
No. Don't punch your mum in the face.
Now, if you are involved in some kind of campaign to try and make the world a better campaign or movement, to try and make some small corner of the world a bit better, say wage inequality, say ecology, say feminism, you will probably at some point come across someone telling you that you shouldn't bother. Personally, I've got at least 5 causes that make me a pain in the ass. I am a fully paid up, card carrying, you can't say that person. But at some point, especially if you're involved in feminism or some form of gender equality based talking, there will at some point be someone telling you, yeah, but it's fixed now. Or, yeah, but it's so much worse over there. You know the lines already. Excellent. Now, these arguments aren't wrong, they're just useless. So just because it was worse 100 years ago does not mean that the status quo must be correct. And they're not actually saying, we recognise your fantastic efforts up until now. Well done and congratulations on it being better than it was 100 years ago. And the it's so much worse over there argument doesn't mean we recognise your fantastic efforts over here. And we think that over there would benefit from your insight. There's a workshop next weekend. Maybe you could go over there and it means fuck off. It means shut up. It means stop bothering me and be grateful. The late, great Susan B. Anthony, American women's suffrage campaigner, once said, "Our goal is not to make young women grateful. It is to make them ungrateful so that they keep going." I love that one. One of the things I'm ungrateful about, there's a few, is police abuses of power. I, like most people, I kind of knew that there was bad stuff going on somewhere, but I only got very involved when it came to my doorstep, as it were. I was one of 5 people arrested one day for looking like we may be about to protest something. And we were arrested for a breach of the peace that we had not yet committed. And might not have been committing, we were trying to buy a coffee in Starbucks at the time. And we were handcuffed, held in police cells for a few hours, and then told to piss off and be grateful that we were being let go. I'm ungrateful. And I got involved in all kinds of movements about police abuses of power. I volunteered with NETPOL, the Network for Police Monitoring, and New Monitoring Project to support the families of Charles de Menezes, the Stephen Lawrences, long before my time, either of those, but that's how cool they are. And since I've gotten involved in that, I've realised just how easy I had it when it happened to me. No matter how obnoxious I am, no matter how much I am in the wrong place at the wrong time, I will always be female, this accent, specky, white. Even at the police station, I found myself drawing on levels of middle-class uppity I didn't know I had. When they ask you what your job is, I now know that you answer no comment to everything and that your phone call should be the green and black cross protest support number, which you should have in your phone and I can give to you later if you don't. But what I did do when they asked me for my job was I said, I am an editor at the Open University. And when you have your phone call, I had the options of my housemates, who wouldn't know what to do any more than I did, though I could tell them to feed the cat, my parents, who I would just terrify, or I had been texting an old uni housemate earlier that day. Actually, didn't she win that award on her journalism course? Actually, didn't she just get a job at The Guardian? My phone call from a police station, because I suspected it would shit them up good and proper, and I was correct, was an award-winning Guardian journalist, and I told them repeatedly that was who I was calling. But yeah, those small victories of they thought her in cell number 9 looked like trouble. Yes, I fucking am. Those do not compensate for the bad shit. And if you are trying to change the world in some small way, say holding the police to account, asking nicely is a start. You kind of have to prove you've ticked it off the list before you then proceed to other ones. But police definitely have more power than you. That is the allowing. That is the please, sir, would you stop hitting us with sticks? They're probably going to tone you down. Don't stop there. There is plenty more that we can and should do. Frederick Douglass, who was a freed slave and abolitionist campaigner, once said, "Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will." Demanding time. I just like scribbling no over things I don't like, basically. It's really therapeutic. I really should have updated this one since last year, and I honestly didn't know where to start. There have been so many things.